Hi, I'm Wind Hughes, and welcome to the Feminine Shaman series, where I'll be sharing with you some of my work and excerpts from my newest book, Life is the Ceremony, How We Live It is the Ritual, The Journey of a Feminine Shaman. So to introduce myself to you, I'm going to read a little bit from the introduction of my book. As a child, I felt as though I had awakened from a deep sleep to find myself in a new world, a place that seemed foreign to me, very different from where I had last been. While I didn't know where last was, I did know, without a doubt, that when I looked up to the stars at night, I was looking homeward. I knew I was part of all things, the heavens, the animals, all of life, and the natural world around me. My life has been an unusual journey, a dance between the physical world and the vast spiritual world of interdimensional realities and planes of consciousness. My earliest memories are a feeling that my experience of life was noticeably different from the experience of others around me. I grew up in a typical block in Brooklyn, which meant that on most days the natural world available to me for exploration was limited to the small patch of dirt and shrubs in front of the apartment building where I lived. I spent many hours there, kneeling to reach through the chain-link fence surrounding the small garden, observing and touching as much of the soil as I could get my hands on. I studied the insects, the plants, everything that existed in that tiny microcosm, occasionally risking the wrath of the landlord who had declared the garden off limits by climbing over the fence and sitting in the garden. I longed for my family's periodic outings to the country, where I felt more at home than anywhere else. But since those outings were infrequent, I spent as much time as possible playing in the mountains, rivers, and miles of open land that existed in my inner magical realm. Some of the most glorious times of my childhood were the summers I spent with my aunt and uncle at their house on Long Island with my cousins, April and Gerard. We reveled in the freedom to roam the countryside on our own. Returning to Brooklyn after summers there was difficult. As soon as I could, at age 20, I left the city and moved to the mountains of Southern California. I have lived in or near the mountains ever since. In the mountains, I feel most at peace with myself, most connected to my Earth Mother and to Spirit. This is where I soar. I was blessed with intellectual curiosity and an unshakable spiritual awareness that has been the consistent inner landscape of my life. My out-of-body experiences, mystical visions, and the ability to communicate with non-embodied beings, some of whom I'll introduce to you in this book, were commonplace. During one of the first meetings with a particular group of beings, they revealed my soul's purpose, referring to me as an interdimensional translator. I asked them what in the world they meant by that, and they answered, "It's not of the world. It is between the worlds, translating between the worlds." In this lifetime, they explained, I would integrate the knowledge and perspectives I received from my mystical and visionary experiences and develop the ability to translate the information from the cosmic dialect into the language of this physical plane. In other words, I was to translate from the mystical and spiritual realms into this realm that dominates our consciousness here on Earth. They emphasized how essential it was for me to live in alignment with the natural laws of creation, as they are mirrored in the Sacred Wheel's teachings of all that is in nature, cycles, seasons, elements, and spiritual truths as they are explained today by what is referred to as quantum theory. I was to translate this information into simple, practical, accessible terms. This is a tall order for anyone, much less a kid from the block in Brooklyn. But when they spoke, there was no doubt as to the truth they were speaking. It resonated deeply within me from a place beyond time and beyond mind. There have always been individuals whose vision of reality reaches far beyond the constructs and paradigms of this realm, and they return like Pathfinders to tell all of us of these new realityscapes. I've always known that I am one of these explorers. I remember the day that one of my teachers showed me my soul's purpose in the Akashic Records, the celestial realm where all and everything is recorded. I was shown my responsibility to return with stories of the spirit world. So that's a bit about who I am, and I hope you will check in for more of the Feminine Shaman series, where I share my work and more excerpts from my book. You can find me at windhughes, WINDHUGHES.com, and on Twitter, windhughes at windhughes, and I'm on Facebook too. So thanks for listening, and come back for more. Blessings and joy.